This beer was built around Rugby. Not just the logo, not just the name, the actual recipe. And after spending some time with the Hilton Head Island Rugby team, I completely understand exactly why Local Legend made this beer the way that they did, because these guys work. And somehow, the beer manages to capture a little bit of that culture in the glass. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Brewbots and Barbells, where we lift pints and weights. And today, we're staying right here in the Low Country, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, and this right here is Gator Ale from Local Legend Brewing Company. It's a 6% ABV Kölsch-style ale created in collaboration with the Hilton Head Island Rugby team. And this beer pretty much has everything I want in the spotlight. We've got a local brewery, a local sports club, ingredient experimentation, real brewing process, supplier collaboration, money flowing back into the local community, and this beautiful gator playing rugby with a beer in his hand. We've got a lot to talk about. I recently got the opportunity to spend some time around the Hilton Head Island Rugby team, and I needed it because it gave me context not only for the beer, but what they do. Watching rugby from a distance and actually standing there, watching these guys literally move, are two completely different things. There's consistent movement, explosive running, getting back into position, doing it again and again and again. It's not regular exercise. These guys are really putting in work. And the other thing that stood out to me is they're having a blast the entire time. I know I did. And there's camaraderie to rugby that's infectious. The team element is everywhere. You're competing hard, even if it is like a two-hand touch on a great day. Like, you're all doing it together, and that's where the story of Gator Ale, for me, truly started to make sense. This collaboration brought Local Legend Brewing and the rugby team together to create something that actually represented them. Alex, who works with Local Legend and is connected to the club, was involved in getting the idea moving. Then the brewing team started working through what the beer could actually become, which went through several different ideas, and eventually the Kölsch won, and I think that's a perfect choice because before we add lime, before we add anything else, the foundation already fits the story. Kölsch comes from Cologne, Germany originally, and it's one of those styles that plays a very interesting space. It's an ale, but if you hand a good Kölsch to somebody who doesn't spend their life around like fermentation, they might assume they're drinking a lager because it's clean, crisp, light in color, and it's super drinkable. Yet, because you're using ale fermentation, you can still pick up delicate fruit character. Think subtle like pear, maybe a little light floral quality. Then underneath that, soft grain, fresh bread, cracker, nothing heavy at all. And traditional examples are cold conditioned, which helps tighten up everything and gives it that beautiful clean finish. That's why this style works so well when the temperature climbs. And Hilton Head, yes, I can speak from experience. We know something about that. Now this is where Gator Ale stops being just a simple Kölsch. The brewing team starts thinking about rugby, right? Running, heat, physical activity. What makes sense alongside that culture? An idea that developed around making this beer even brighter and more refreshing. So they started experimenting with lime, sea salt, and potassium citrate. Now, let's not turn this into a Gatorade here, okay? It's still alcohol. Hydrate properly, of course. But from a recipe storytelling standpoint, this is absolutely brilliant because the ingredients themselves connect directly back to the people that the beer represents. This might be my favorite brewing detail, is they didn't randomly choose an amount and then just dump everything into the batch. They created different solutions. They did benchtop trials, tasted it, adjusted it, tasted it again, found the balance. Then scaled it. This is one of those little glimpses behind brewing that I want people to understand. A creative beer doesn't mean somebody just gets wild with ingredients and tosses it in the fermenter, right? Good experimental brewing still involves restraint. You're trying to answer how much lime, how much salt, and at what point does this enhance the base beer, and when does it become the entire beer? Because especially with something so delicate as Kölsch, you can bury it quickly. And tasting this, guys, they hit it. The lime is obvious enough. It adds a nice personality to it, but it's not screaming. You get that great citrus snap across the aroma and the flavor. Underneath it, the beer is still there. Light malt, little fruitiness. clean fermentation. And that's important because I don't want this like a lime beverage masquerading as craft beer. I want a Kölsch that you can improve on it. And that's what Gator Ale does. So let's talk about the unusual part I mentioned. Sea salt and potassium citrate. Salt in a beer isn't new. Agoza has been doing that dance for a while. And at low concentrations, salt can change how we actually perceive the sweetness in the body. Potassium citrate adds another mineral component to it as well, but here's what it does most. I don't taste this and think, wow, delicious potassium. You shouldn't. Now, what it does is it kind of works in the background. The beer flows perfectly, and that's success. Now, the collaboration gets bigger. Prairie Malt and WHC Labs got involved in helping with this project with the malt and the yeast, and the brewery had to run trials which provided them data. That relationship allowed this project to work simultaneously. Because why is that important? Because Local Legend could then direct a good portion of the proceeds back to the Hilton Head Rugby team. And now we're working. Because suddenly the collaboration is full circle. The rugby team community helps inspire the beer, the brewer develops it, suppliers help support it, customers drink it and enjoy it. Part of that money goes right back to that local rugby team to help them progress. That's how local ecosystems grow. Now, I don't have the exact malt bill, of course, or the yeast strain, but what I can help you understand, for a Kölsch-style base, you generally want malt to stay light. Pale grain, bread, cracker, honey-like sweetness, but you're not looking for like caramel or like toast. The yeast is another important piece. You want a little ale-derived fruit character without turning it into something like loud. And then when it's done well, you'll get an awesome Kölsch. And trick is, ale character with lager-like drinkability. Now let's finally put everything together. Appearance, pale gold, exactly what you want. On the nose, that lime, like catches me at first. Behind that is a nice soft grain, very light fruit tart, nothing heavy. Now, that sip though, it's crisp immediately. The lime travels through the middle of the beer. It's got a nice soft malt foundation underneath all that and a great aftertaste actually. The body stays light and it's not that bitter. And at the end result is what you're shooting for. Refreshing, easy drinking, flavorful, and you're craving that next sip. And obviously, this beer right here lands right into one of my spaces here at BrewBods and Barbells because that's where I live in. Being active and enjoying beer does not have to compete with each other. I get my workout in, hydrate, do what I wanted to do, then sit down afterward and enjoy a beer. That's the balance. And after spending time with the rugby team, the beer even makes even more sense. Work hard, compete, move. Then there's this nice social side of the life. Sit down, tell stories, have a great time, enjoy the people you're around. They overlap between activity and community, and it's one of the reasons that this collaboration feels so natural. And I have to talk about the artwork itself. Like, look at this, guys. Look at this shirt. Rugby jersey with on the gator, ball tucked under one arm, beer mug in the other. I love this shirt. And when I'm wearing this shirt in the video, you don't even need much explanation. It kind of tells the story instantly. Hilton Head, rugby, fun. It's simple branding with a strong identity. And that gets into what Local Legend is trying to build in general. The name itself tells you that they care about local stories, local characters, Hilton Head culture. They want the beer to belong to the island rather than simply being beer that happens to be brewed on the island. That's the difference to me. Gator Ale is a perfect example. You couldn't just move this beer to another city and let the story kind of remain intact. It belongs here. And that's great local branding. Some collaborations exist because two companies decided their logos would look good together. This one right here has depth. Every decision leads back to the community. Kölsch chosen, drinkability with lime, refreshing, the mineral additions connected to the rugby, the shirt connected to the rugby and Hilton Head, the proceeds back to the club. Like, the beer has a reason to exist beyond new release Friday, right? And those are the kinds of collaborations I would love to see more of. And I wouldn't mind being a part of it. Gator Ale is fun. It's refreshing. It's genuinely enjoyable. But the story is what elevates it. A local brewery worked alongside a local rugby community to create a beer that represents them. And that built a structure where the proceeds help support the same community they're here for. That's craft beer at its best, and Gator Ale is almost gone. So, Hilton Head, anybody on Hilton Head that's visiting, don't make this one of the beers that you hear about after the keg kicks. Get over to Local Legend, tell them I sent you, grab a Gator Ale, support the brewery, support the Hilton Head Island rugby team, and enjoy something that genuinely belongs on this island. If you enjoyed this one, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to Brewbots and Barbells. We're going deeper in the ingredients, the brewing process, the breweries, and especially the people behind the beer. Let me know down below, if your local sports team got its own beer, what style would it be? Guys, I'm Bennett with Brewbots and Barbells, where we lift pints and weights. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.